Things in art that make me really mad because I don't know. I should have came up with a better intro than this. Okay, so I've been drawing art since I was basically conceived. And from the time I've been drawing, my art has improved a lot. I mean, the bar is this, so and being an ancient creature like myself, I have experienced multiple things that just make me. The first thing was really just trying to find my style. Now, if you've seen this channel, then you could really tell that my style isn't that special. Especially in my older videos. I had the style that, well, basically everyone had, and I couldn't pull it off. I know other people can really do something really cool with the style, but I don't think I could ever do that. When I decided I really wasn't happy with my style, I kind of just had an identity crisis with whatever my art was. I was trying to think of everything and anything I could do with my style. This went on for like about a year, until I really just decided I don't really need a specific style. As long as I can draw, then I'm fine. Then I just get art block. Actually, you know what? No, I'm going to talk about that. Why does this happen? This is something that usually happens when I draw something like big or very silly or something. But then, right after, I feel like I lose all the creativity. Like it's a bar and I just have to wait for it to refill. And it takes forever for me to get another idea. I can't tell you how many times I've sat in front of my sketchbook or iPad just thinking of something to draw and never coming up with any ideas. If I had a nickel for every time this happened, I would be as rich as Scrooge McDuck. So that's when I'd start to ask my friends for ideas. And I'm never going to let them cook with ideas ever again. Now, I love it when people give me something to draw. I mean, come on. If you see my shorts, then you know that like half of them are basically just requests. But then I'll get some requests that like I just don't really want to draw, mostly because it's just something I don't really like drawing, or just something that is not something that I would probably like to draw, if that makes sense. I have a specific set of hidden rules, I guess you could say. If a drawing idea crosses that, then I'm not drawing it. At school, I get the most horrendous request I have ever heard of. The amount of times I've been told to draw someone pregnant is actually kind of scary. What's even worse is that I'd be in the middle of drawing something, and then they'll be like, ooh, you should add this, you should add that. And it kind of gets a bit annoying, because these aren't suggestions. They're like, you should add this. And if I don't add it, then they're going to be on my case about it. Like, why aren't you drawing this? I told you to draw this. Can't you see that I already have half the drawing done? Sometimes I will actually listen, because I'll be like, that idea is actually kind of good. But then I'd start to make mistakes, and then I have to erase, then erase, then erase, and just keep erasing. And then by the end of the drawing, there are so many marks that it is kind of noticeable. This doesn't happen too much unless it's with hands. Hands used to be the bane of my existence. It took me so long to figure them out, and I still mess up with hands from time to time. It's the worst thing. When I see a hand that I think I drew well, it turns out that I accidentally drew the thumb on the wrong side, or the middle finger actually isn't the longest finger. It's a whole thing, and honestly, it's just the worst. At first, I really just couldn't draw hands, so instead I just drew these nubs. Now, this is when my style kind of just looked like a bunch of cave paintings, so there isn't really too much I could have done here, but it still doesn't look good. And then my hands evolved into balls. The way I kind of see it, that kind of reminds me of like a me. You know how they have their little ball hands? That's what this kind of reminds me of. Then I actually drew the thumb, but then my hands were more like mittens, because I didn't actually draw the rest of the fingers. I just drew, well, I'll just show you right now. See, yeah, I kind of just did this. It looks more like a mitten than anything. And then I actually started to learn to draw hands when I started drawing a bunch of cartoon characters. Here's a tip: if you're trying to draw hands, practice drawing a bunch of cartoon characters with their hands, and eventually it will just be second nature. Trust me, it works for me. Then again, I don't know if you should also listen to me, because I'm not the greatest drawer, so, I don't know. Take that with a grain of salt, I guess. They could still be a big pain in the butt. But if you're talking about something that's a big pain in my butt right now, then I'm talking about eyes. I can't draw them. Before, I used to have these black voids as eyes. Literally just looked like I drilled holes into the drawing. Eventually, I did kind of get tired of it, because I knew if I kept drawing my characters like that, then I'm actually just gonna not be able to draw eyes ever. So I did try to experiment. I looked at all kinds of medias for their eyes, but I ended up with the eyes you see right now. When I finish all my sketchbooks, I put them in this basket, and sometimes I would go and just look through the basket and see I drew that. But if I go back to my sketchbooks from the 5th grade, oh my gosh. This is terrible. How did I think this was okay? I'd be all like, oh yeah, look at this. This is amazing. And then I go back to it like a few years later. I'm like, why? This is why I really don't show my sketchbook off as much anymore. I mean, unless someone asks. But then there are those people that just like, I want to see your sketchbook. I want to see your sketchbook. Like, dog, I'm drawing right now. I think that's everything that really bothers me, from the top of my head at least. Comment below if you have any similar pet peeves. And with all that being said,
I bet 99% of you draw a triangle like this. Try this.